underwater.
Welcome to the show, y'all. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Look here, y'all. Randy has a problem. I'm talking about a serious problem because visitation is over now. His son's mama left. She was in tears when she left. But she told him that this was going to take some doing. She understood what he was trying to do, what he was trying to say, but it was still a part of her that couldn't figure out how to digest what she had just been told. This person that she loved, this person that she gave herself to years ago when they were kids, that she knew growing up in the hood, had abandoned her and their son because he was afraid and he joined a white supremacist group for protection. Wait a minute. Did you hear me? He joined a white supremacist group for protection. Abandoned his son. Didn't want anything to do with him. But like I said, people do things when they are afraid without calculating the harm it's going to cause other people. You get real selfish when you're scared, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about, so quit acting like you don't. We've all been there. We've all been there. Now, for me, I understand where she's at. Now, he has to go back to this compound. And that fear that he had years ago, it's gone. It was something about seeing her that empowered him, that emboldened him. It made him want to stand up. It made him find the man that he had become. Stand up. So when he went back to the compound, the whole compound is on fire with what's going on. Because he wasn't the only one in the VG. You had Aryan Nation groups out there. You had Bloods, Crips, Vice Lord, Gangster Disciples, Peons. Everybody was out there. And everybody saw what was going on. Now, everybody in that VG that's at that prison know that he is one of the heads in this white supremacist group, and he's sitting at the table with this black guy. And then he gets to arguing with two of his arrogant brothers and tell them that this is the mother of his child. Man, what? What are you? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You talking about something hot to talk about? Man, call TMZ. For real. This is the buzz. The whole compound is on fire talking about this. How could somebody that's head in the Aryan Nation have a biracial son? How? What happened? So when he gets back on the compound, and after the count, because after visit, usually you get locked down, then they count us, then they let us back out, and all of this and that. So now when he comes back out in the afternoon, everybody's out. And in the penitentiary, you know something's going to happen when it's quiet. Because it ain't never quiet in the penitentiary, y'all, until and when something is about to pop off. I'm telling you, you can walk in any building. When it's about to go down, you can hear a pin drop. You can go to the ball field. When it's about to go down, you can hear the crickets. I'm telling you. And that's how you know, get your back against the wall. It's about to go down, and you better hope it ain't about you. Because it gets ugly, because don't nobody give you no heads up or nothing. I'm telling y'all that. Nobody give you no heads up. You walk right into the lion's den, and you get devoured. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. But he's ready. He's ready. His cellie, the whole time they were locked down during the count, didn't say one word to him. He just sat there staring at him. Not one word was said between them. So he knows that his cellie knows what happened. So it's about to pop off. So when he's walking down on the ball field, it's almost like he has the plague. He's a leper. Everybody's walking several feet away from him. Because nobody want to get caught up in what they think is about to happen. It's going to be a slaughter, y'all. So he gets down on the ball field. And when they get down on the ball field, he walks right over to the area where his Aryan brothers are waiting. And it's a lot of them. Now the whole compound is watching. Ain't nobody coming to save him. He gonna have to take care of this himself. This is between them. You ain't finna get no help. No matter how much you stood up to whatever was going on, no matter that you got a son that's biracial, no matter what, you gotta handle this on your own, buddy. So he walks over there, and he's standing over there, and they're talking to him, and you can see the back and forth because the hands are moving and all this and that, and you can hear him yelling, this nigga lover, this and that, and that makes some of the organizations that brothers are in, they start to stand up, and now they drifting over there. Because they saying it bold, this, you a nigga lover, this, and that. And keeping it real, ain't nobody caring about Randy. I care about what he got going on. But watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Because see, some of these brothers on this compound, they know this sister. They know this sister. You feel me? But they didn't know that this was the one that had the baby, that she had the baby by. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. But now it's looking like, wait a minute, man. What's going on? So the Aryans, they step out and meet everybody that's walking towards them, have and say, look, man, this is our business. Stay out of our business. And they were right. So everybody just stopped, just to watch it and see how it play out. Ain't nobody really tripping when you know, watching Aryan nation kill each other. You feel what I'm saying? Or stick at each other, whatever. So everybody just standing there and watching. Ain't nobody coming to help Randy. So he's telling them, man, I should have told y'all, but I didn't. But I got a biracial son. And I ain't had no contact with him because I cut him off because I wanted to be a part of this. And he told them what happened to him years ago. Now, some of those brothers that were there while he was talking, they were there from the beginning when he joined. And guess what? They hit him in the face with it. Now they're laughing at him. They said, we knew you were weak. We knew you were weak. And they told him, said, we the ones that set it up for you to get robbed. We're the ones that set the whole thing up. And when we brought it back, we knew that you would run to us. So we offered it to you and you took it. And you cut yourself off from your own son. And see, they were watching their mouths now because some of the brothers was close enough. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't saying all this nigga stuff no more. So they were just sitting there and everybody's talking. Now he's thinking, he been played. He threw away all of those years that he could have had with his son and his girlfriend. Because he was tricked into believing that they cared about him. I want you to understand what I just said, y'all. He was tricked. It don't just happen in white groups. It don't. It happens in all of them. You get tricked to believe in something. You get tricked to believe in somebody cares about you. But they just want to use you. But see, like I said, Randy could fight. And they needed that. They wanted that. They most definitely didn't want him joining an organization with black or brown people. They didn't want that. They wanted him on their team. And they got him through trickery. Because that's what happens in here. So now he knows that he got played. So he's getting pissed. He's getting pissed. Now everybody that's standing over there, they don't know. They didn't know that story. It's just a few people that were there then that are still there now. So everybody that was there in the Aryan group, they didn't know that he had been tricked, but they didn't care. What they were focusing on now is, what are they going to do to this dude? So the head stood up and he told him, he said, man, ain't nothing on you, man. They were stripping him of his patch. That's what they call it, patch, the badge, you know, whatever. Stripped him, took it. Told him he was exiled. And they told him that he had 24 hours to check in and leave the compound, or they was going to kill him. That's what they told him. And they meant it. I mean, every single freaking word of it. And that's how it goes. But like I said, Randy ain't no sucker. He knows how to fight. So he goes back to the unit. Well, before that, he walks some laps. He's trying to get his mind right. He's trying to figure out what his next move is going to be. And then when they close the ball field, he goes back to the unit. Now, to keep in mind, he got 24 hours down, less than that, to decide what he's going to do. And he's in the cell with an Aryan Brotherhood brother that used to be his brother. Ain't no sleeping that night. You feel me? Ain't no sleeping. So he's in this cell and he's trying to figure out, when is it coming? What do you do? So he decides to make the first move. He gets up from his bunk. He walks to the front of the cell, the door. He looks out to see if he can locate the police, right? He turns around and he sees his cellie. Before his cellie knew what was happening, he was on him. Hands on, tossing him, flipping him, whooping him good up in that thing. Now his cellie, coward that he is hollering, "Officer, officer!" Ain't no officer coming. He made sure that the officer wasn't even in the pod before he put hands on him. He whooped him. Slammed him into the door. The front door of the cell is locked. Slammed him into the door and tell him, "Look here, get up out of here." By doing that, he's sending a message to the Aryan organization. And I ain't scared of none of y'all. I'm talking when I say he whooped his cellie good, he whooped him good. When the officer did come around for the count, his cellie standing on the door, bleeding. The officer panicking. "What's going on? What's happening in there? Get against the wall." He called for backup. Backup comes. They pop the cell. They come in there. They take his cell out, take him to the clinic. Now, in this particular pod, you got other Aryan nation. They looking on. They seeing what's going on. And now it's war. It's war. When the morning comes, somebody is leaving this compound. And they plan on it being Randy. But the word done spread around the compound. And Randy done took care of his business. He took care of his business. Now these other organizations, they looking at him like, man, do we help him or not? Most of them said, no, we're not finna help him. For what? He made this, let him live in it. Now some of them wanted to help him. But the heads told him, no, stand down. He got to deal with this on his own. If he comes through this, then we got him. But if he don't come through this on his own, that's on him. Care nothing about him having a biracial son or a black girlfriend. They ain't care nothing about none of that. You can get no props for that. This man had made a decision years ago to abandon them. He got to fix this. He got to stand up and deal with whatever's coming. And if he stands up and he's still standing at the end of this, then they got him. Next morning, he come out. They go on to breakfast. They ready. They looking for him. Everybody see it. The police even know something's finna happen. Everybody's seeing it. They waiting. They watching. Randy strapped up. He done put the in here when you put the gear on. What I'm saying is like he done taped the books to his body. That's to absorb the butchers when they come swinging them things. It's like a vest. He ready, and he got butchers. He ready. He come out and they surround him. They jumping. He's swinging for his life. I'm telling you, he's swinging for dear life. But they own him. It's too many of them. When he fall down, they own him. He just starts swinging and sticking him and cutting him any way he could. When it was all over, let me tell you something. This boy got hit 28 times. 28 times. And he laid there. He laid there. Police come get him. Now, he did some damage too now. He stuck quite a bit of them. But he didn't run. He didn't run. Now, let me explain to you the lunacy in this. See, in the penitentiary, or in the criminal world, meaning that mindset that you have, that made Randy a stand-up guy. He didn't run from nothing. He stood on what it was. He messed up. He could have ran. He could have checked in. And when nobody blamed him. They'd have called him weak, but he would have still been alive. Now, he's not dead. He lived, but he messed up. He messed up bad. And the word has spread all over the state. And when they took him to the hospital and brought him back a month later, they put him in protective custody. He stayed in the back for years. Years. And they finally let him out because he had less than 10 to go. So he was going to get out. And he stayed in the back for years. And a couple of years before it was time for him to go home, they let him out. And he was on the compound. And like everywhere else and everything else, guess what? Times had changed and people had moved on. Yeah, they knew the story about him getting hit up and having a biracial son. They knew the story. But they didn't know or care that he used to be one of them. They moved on. They didn't kick it with him or nothing. Now the whole penitentiary is looking at him like he ain't running. And he ends up getting out. He ends up getting out. And his son, let me tell you about his son. His son, when he found out that his pops had joined that organization because he was scared, he was hurt. He was devastated. But when he heard about what his daddy had done and gone through, it wasn't pride that he felt. It was fear for his daddy. Because it made it come home to him that this is real. Consequences are attached to every decision you make. It's real. And I'm going to tell you something. I ain't going to tell you his name because it ain't my story to tell like that. You feel me? But this brother went to college, a major college. A major college. And he ended up playing some pro ball for a couple of years. Blew his knee out, but he went to the league. Now, I don't know the relationship between him and his father now. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue. But I do know that they were still communicating. I know that. But the importance of this story is that whatever decision you make, if it's rooted in fear, it's a high chance that it's going to hurt somebody else, not just you. And I understand that fear that you have. But we got to find a way to start making better decisions, not based out of fear. Not based out of fear. And I ain't saying that like it's going to be easy. But a lot of these decisions that we're making out of fear is what's causing the problems in the neighborhoods. Whether you're black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever. We got to stop participating, man, in our own genocide. We have to do that. I'm going to leave you with that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
I've been trying to breathe underwater.